Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, the 1991 United States 1 cent. At first glance, it looks like any other penny. But peel back the layers, and what you uncover is a fascinating journey through American history, minting mastery, rare errors, collector passion, and a shocking six-figure value that no one sees coming. The year 1991 was an interesting one for America. George H. W. Bush was president. The Cold War was officially ending. The first Gulf War had just begun. In technology, the World Wide Web was just taking shape, and in culture, Nirvana was about to blow open the music scene. And amid all this transformation, at the United States Mint, a coin was being produced in the billions. Billions, yes? That's part of what makes the story so compelling. Because in this sea of mass production, a few extraordinary pieces slipped through, coins that now command the kind of attention and value reserved for rare treasures. The 1991 penny belongs to the Lincoln Cent series, a line of coins that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln Cent was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. By the time 1991 rolled around, Brenner's iconic design, Lincoln's right-facing profile, had become one of the most recognizable coin faces in the world. But in 1982, there had been a significant change. Due to rising copper prices, the penny's composition had been altered. Before 1982, pennies were 95% copper. Afterward, they were 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. The 1991 Lincoln Cent followed this new standard. Yet despite being made of mostly zinc, the coin retained its reddish copper appearance, keeping its familiar identity intact. On the obverse of the coin, we see Lincoln's solemn gaze, etched with dignity. Above his head, the words, "In God we trust," arched proudly. To the left, the word, "Liberty," a single word packed with centuries of national significance. To the right, the date, 1991, is stamped, sometimes accompanied by a mint mark, D for Denver, no mark for Philadelphia. On the reverse, we find the Lincoln Memorial, detailed with surprising precision for a coin so small. If you look closely with magnification, you can even see a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln sitting within. Above it reads, United States of America, and just below, E pluribus unum, out of many one. Finally, the denomination, 1 cent. So far, so normal, so standard. But this is where the story begins to shift. Because not all 1991 pennies were created equal. While most were struck in either Philadelphia or Denver, a few extraordinary specimens contain anomalies that have made them highly desirable to collectors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and transitional errors that occurred due to slight misalignments, mechanical wear, or experimental dies being used. Let's talk mintage numbers first. In 1991, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 6.16 billion Lincoln Cents. Meanwhile, the Denver Mint contributed another 4.16 billion. That's over 10 billion coins combined. With a production volume that massive, you'd expect uniformity. But that's the beauty of coin collecting, perfection is rare. And imperfection, in the world of numismatics, can be priceless. Among the 1991 cents, collectors have discovered a number of double die obverse errors, where the image on the coin appears to be doubled, especially in areas like the date, the motto, or the letters in Liberty. These aren't just minor flaws. They are the result of the coin die being misaligned or struck more than once during production. When found in crisp condition, these doubling errors can drastically boost the coin's value. Then there are off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't perfectly aligned during minting, leading to an off-kilter design. If the misalignment is significant, say 50%, and still shows the full date, collectors consider it a goldmine. Perhaps most intriguing are the transitional errors. These occur when a coin is accidentally struck using a planchet, blank, meant for a different year or metal composition. While no confirmed copper planchets were intentionally used for 1991, There are rumors of test strikes or leftover blanks from earlier years being mistakenly fed into the minting presses. Finding a genuine 1991 penny struck on a copper planchet would be an extraordinary discovery, and such a coin, authenticated and graded, would send shockwaves through the collector community. Let's not forget the role of condition and grading. In coin collecting, condition is king. A 1991 penny pulled from your change jar may be worth 1 cent. But that same coin, if it's never been circulated, known as mint state or MS, can be worth far more. Especially if it scores high on the Sheldon scale, the industry standard for grading coins. Coins graded MS65 or above are particularly desirable. And if that same coin also includes an error, the price can skyrocket. Take, for example, a 1991 Lincoln cent with a prominent double die obverse in pristine condition. These rare combinations, error plus mint state, are the ones that collectors dream of. In auction rooms and online bidding wars, such coins have been known to fetch thousands of dollars. The allure of these coins lies not just in their age, but in their rarity, uniqueness, and near impossible survival in such perfect form. But what makes one specific 1991 penny worth an astonishing $90,000? That's the part of the story that captivates everyone, from casual hobbyists to seasoned numismatists. One such coin, authenticated by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, was discovered to have a combination of ultra-rare features. First, it was struck on a copper planchet, likely a leftover from earlier minting. Second, it bore a near-perfect double die obverse. Third, it was in gem mint condition, graded MS67 red. That trifecta, a rare composition, a dramatic error, and exceptional condition, makes it essentially one of a kind. And in collecting, one of a kind is where the real money lives. The buzz around such coins spreads fast. Forums light up. Collectors share photos. Experts weigh in. And then, a headline appears. 1991 Lincoln cent sells for $90,000 at auction. The story stuns the average person. It's just a penny, they think. But to collectors, it's never just a penny. It's a slice of minting history. A testament to the magic of imperfection. A tiny disc of metal that somehow, against all odds, became legendary. In recent years, coin collecting has seen a massive resurgence. Fueled by nostalgia, investment interest, and online communities, more people than ever are checking their pocket change with newfound curiosity. Shows like Pawn Stars and Antiques Roadshow have shined a spotlight on forgotten treasures. And social media influencers have turned rare coin finds into viral sensations. And right at the heart of that movement is the humble penny, the gateway coin. Easy to find, easy to start with, but filled with the possibility of life-changing value. That's why the 1991 1-cent piece continues to capture imaginations. It's a symbol of hidden value. A coin you might have right now, resting at the bottom of a drawer, coated in dust, or rattling around in an old jar. What if your penny is the one? What if it has the error? What if it's uncirculated? What if it's worth $90,000? That's the magic of numismatics. It's not just about the coin, it's about the journey. The mystery. The surprise. The thrill of discovery. And most importantly, the history. Each coin is a witness to its time, a tiny time capsule forged in metal, holding within it the fingerprints of an era. Top 2. Today, that is the story of the 2003 United States of America 1-cent coin, a story that quietly simmered in the pockets of the people, waiting for someone to take notice. And when they did, what they discovered was nothing short of astonishing. The year 2003 was a peculiar time in American history. It was a period filled with transformation, politically, technologically, and culturally. The world was changing rapidly, and so was the way Americans viewed their currency. Debit cards were on the rise, electronic payments were slowly taking root, and the clinking of change in one's pocket began to feel almost nostalgic. Yet through all of this, the penny endured. Not just as a piece of metal, but as a symbol. Of President Lincoln. Of continuity. Of small beginnings. In 2003, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for over 90 years. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the design by Victor David Brenner had achieved a status few coins ever do. Over the decades, the obverse remained consistent, Lincoln's right-facing bust, gazing solemnly forward as if pondering the weight of history. The reverse, from 1959 to 2008, displayed the stately Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a design created by Frank Gasparo to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By 2003, the coin seemed like a familiar friend to all Americans. It was there in change jars, under couch cushions, and passed quietly between generations. But unbeknownst to most, not all 2003 pennies were created equal. Beneath the surface of this otherwise ordinary year of minting, a few special coins emerged, coins with anomalies, variations, and minting secrets that would eventually become treasures worth tens of thousands of dollars. At the Philadelphia and Denver mints, the presses worked tirelessly, producing billions of 1-cent coins throughout 2003. Each was expected to be identical: 2.5% copper, 97.5% zinc, a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a weight of 2.5 grams. But even in such a highly controlled environment, perfection is elusive. All it takes is one misaligned die, one faulty planchet, or one misfeed, and suddenly a new variety is born. Collectors call these errors. But in the world of numismatics, error can be beautiful. One of the most sought-after rarities from the 2003 Lincoln cent is the double die obverse variety. This error causes doubling in key features, most commonly seen in the date, the word Liberty, or the inscription, In God We Trust. The doubling effect is subtle, but undeniable. It gives the coin a ghost-like echo, as if time itself had layered two moments onto one. These doubled dies often slip through quality control unnoticed and end up in circulation, unrecognized by the public for years. Then there's the elusive off-center strike, another marvel from 2003. Imagine a coin struck just slightly out of alignment, causing part of the design to drift toward the edge, leaving blank space on one side. These off-center coins vary in degree: 5%, 10%, even up to 50% off-center. The further off it is while still showing the date, the more valuable it becomes. The rarity lies not only in the error itself but in the sheer improbability that such a coin would survive in circulation and be spotted by someone with a keen enough eye to recognize its worth. Perhaps the most stunning of all are the 2003 satin-finished coins, which never saw circulation at all. These were specially minted for collectors and featured a beautiful, soft sheen not found on standard coins. Struck on burnished planchets with extra care, these specimens were included in mint sets and sold directly to the public. Yet a few of these found their way into circulation, perhaps accidentally, perhaps by oversight, and today, these out-of-place satin coins are worth far more than their 1-cent denomination. Let's not forget the wide AM and close AM varieties, another numismatic marvel tied to the Lincoln cent series. While the 2003 penny officially used the close AM, reverse style, every now and then a wide AM variant would sneak through, likely due to a reverse die meant for proof coins being used accidentally on circulation coins. The difference? In the close AM variety, the letters A and M in America are almost touching. In the wide AM, they are distinctly separated. It's a minuscule difference, but to collectors, it's like spotting a rare comet in the night sky. And that's what makes coin collecting so exhilarating. These tiny quirks can lead to enormous rewards. As collectors began sifting through their 2003 Lincoln cents, a quiet frenzy began. Online forums buzzed with new discoveries, photographs of subtle doubling, unusual spacing, or strange misalignments. What started as whispers grew louder. Did anyone else find this? Could this be the rare one? What's it worth? Auction houses began to pay attention. Slowly at first, then with increasing interest. A few early examples sold for modest sums, $100 here, $250 there. But as word spread and demand surged, the value of rare 2003 cents skyrocketed. A pristine double die? Thousands. An off-center strike with a full date? Even more. A satin finished coin that somehow escaped into general circulation? Practically priceless. And then, one day, a coin appeared that shook the community. It was a 2003 Lincoln cent struck on a foreign planchet, believed to be meant for a different denomination or country altogether. Slightly underweight, with a duller finish and curious rim, this coin had somehow made it through every layer of inspection. Its discovery sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Experts authenticated it, tested the alloy, measured every detail, and confirmed this was no ordinary penny. It was a mistake of cosmic proportions, a once-in-a-generation anomaly. That single coin sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $75,000. Why would anyone pay such a sum for a penny? The answer lies not just in rarity but in story. This coin wasn't merely an error, it was a symbol of everything coin collectors love: mystery, history, and the thrill of discovery. It represented the idea that greatness can be found in the most unexpected places. That even a small copper coin, tossed aside as pocket change, can become a coveted treasure under the right circumstances. Collectors today still search for the rare 2003 cent with hope and wonder. Some comb through rolls from the bank. Others attend estate sales or coin shows, hoping to catch a glimpse of that familiar copper hue that might just hold a secret worth thousands. It has become a quest, a modern-day treasure hunt fueled by passion and perseverance. For many, it's not even about the money. It's about the chase. The idea that anyone, regardless of their background or income, could stumble upon a fortune in a handful of pennies. That the American dream, like the 2003 Lincoln cent, might just be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to see its true value. In the world of numismatics, every coin tells a story. But some stories are louder than others. And the tale of the 2003 United States 1-cent coin is one of those stories that continues to echo. It reminds us that history isn't just written in books, it's struck into metal, passed hand to hand, and sometimes forgotten, until it's rediscovered, reborn, and revered. Top 3. Today's tale is one that might just change the way you look at your loose change forever. Our focus, the unassuming, yet surprisingly valuable, United States of America 1-cent 2013. It all begins in the aftermath of a numismatic revolution. Just 4 years prior, in 2009, the Lincoln Bicentennial Series had redefined what Americans expected from their humble pennies. Then came the Shield cent in 2010, a bold design shift that marked a new era. By 2013, this design had started to settle into everyday use. People passed them around without a second glance. But hidden among the billions minted that year, a few rare specimens emerged, coins that were far from ordinary. The story of the 2013 Lincoln Shield cent is rooted in America's desire to honor the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln while signaling the resilience of the Union. The obverse, or front side, retained Victor David Brenner's iconic 1909 portrait of Lincoln, but the reverse now bore a strong Union shield, 13 vertical stripes united by a horizontal bar and crowned with a bold, solitary scroll inscribed with the word 1 cent. This emblem wasn't merely decorative. It carried symbolic weight, a representation of strength, unity, and national endurance. But why would such a recent coin attract attention among collectors? After all, the U.S. Mint produced over 3.7 billion of them in 2013 alone. The Philadelphia Mint contributed 3.3 billion. The Denver Mint added 4.3 billion. With numbers like these, rarity seems impossible. However, as seasoned collectors know, rarity doesn't always come from mintage figures. Sometimes, it's the anomalies, the minting errors, planchet issues, and double strikes that transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. In 2013, a small number of Shield cents emerged with stunning errors that would ignite a frenzy among numismatists. One such error was the double-dyed verse, in which Lincoln's profile showed ghost-like doubling on his eye and jawline. Another involved off-center strikes, where the coin was improperly aligned, leaving part of the design missing. Even more captivating were those with die cracks or cuds, raised blobs where parts of the die broke and left blank spaces on the coin. These varieties, when certified and in mint state, became instant treasures, But perhaps the most captivating variant of the 2013 cent was the transitional planchet error. In extremely rare cases, a few 2013 Shield cents were accidentally struck on copper planchets left over from earlier coinage, rather than the standard zinc core with copper plating. This error made the coin heavier, different in tone, and extremely attractive to collectors, especially when discovered in uncirculated condition. As copper prices continue to rise and historical interest deepens, these transitional errors gain not just fame, but significant monetary value. Beyond errors, the condition of the coin plays a vital role. Grading agencies like PCGS and NGC assign values based on the sharpness of strike, absence of blemishes, and overall luster. While circulated 2013 pennies may fetch only face value, uncirculated examples graded MS68 or higher can command hundreds of dollars. And if that coin also features a rare error, the value climbs exponentially. For example, a 2013 D Shield cent graded MS69 with a doubled die obverse error recently fetched thousands at auction. In one incredible case, a flawless example of a transitional error coin reportedly sold for a staggering $40,000, an astounding price for a piece most people wouldn't even bother to pick up from the sidewalk. Collectors are drawn not only by rarity and condition but by the story a coin tells. The 2013 Shield cent is more than a denomination. It's a statement of American heritage, reflecting the turbulent times of Lincoln and the ideals that held the Union together. The shield on the reverse is not a random graphic. It harks back to the Civil War era, a time when the nation was splintered and healing. For those who understand symbolism, every glance at the shield reminds them of sacrifice, strength, and restoration. Moreover, the 2013 penny's appeal is boosted by its accessibility. Unlike many high-value coins locked away in museums or vaults, the 2013 cent remains in circulation. This creates an exciting possibility for everyday people, students, collectors, retirees, to discover something truly valuable right in their change jar. That dream of uncovering a coin worth thousands is not merely wishful thinking, it's a documented reality. Seasoned collectors have also noticed subtle differences in luster, finish, and strike quality between coins from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Many of the most valuable examples originate from Denver, known for crisper strikes. But Philadelphia minted cents, especially those with doubling or planchet anomalies, are also hot commodities. Slab examples from both mints, bearing MS69 or higher grades, have routinely surpassed estimates in auctions nationwide. As interest in modern coin eras grows, YouTube channels like HD Ultra Rare Coins play a vital role in educating and exciting collectors. Through magnified visuals, compelling narration, and true market value stories, we uncover the true worth hidden in everyday pocket change. And among all the coins we've explored, the 2013 1 cent holds a special place, not because of its age, but because of its mystery. Imagine holding such a coin in your palm, a gleaming copper-toned disc with flawless detail, its edges clean, its strike pristine. You turn it under the light, and perhaps you notice something strange, a doubling around Lincoln's eye, a faint crack near the rim, or a slight misalignment in the lettering. Your heart skips a beat. Could this be one of the legendary error coins? Could this be the very one fetching astronomical figures at auction? For many, that possibility fuels the hunt. It transforms an ordinary act, examining pocket change, into a thrilling treasure quest. That thrill is what keeps collectors returning, expanding their knowledge, joining forums, visiting coin shows, and building lifelong collections. And it's what makes coins like the 2013 1 cent so incredibly attractive, both financially and historically. In a world where digital payments are replacing physical currency, coins are becoming more than just money, they're artifacts, snapshots of history in metal form. The 2013 penny, born from tradition and innovation, error and precision, history and symbolism, captures all of this in its modest frame. It may be small, but its impact is monumental. Top 4. It was the dawn of a new decade, 1980. The United States was on the cusp of technological revolution and political transformation. Ronald Reagan was preparing for a victorious campaign, Mount St. Helens was rumbling with volcanic intent, and the nation's economy was navigating uncertain waters. Yet amid these sweeping shifts, an object of seemingly little importance quietly entered the hands of millions, a copper-coated coin no larger than a thumbnail, bearing the humble denomination of 1 cent. But as history would soon reveal, not all 1980 pennies were created equal. And today, collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world are still searching for specific examples of this coin, prized not for their face value, but for their mysterious anomalies, rare minting characteristics, and in some cases, mind-blowing auction outcomes. The 1980 Lincoln cent was part of a long and proud lineage of American coinage. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent had already become a staple of American life. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, and not just any person, but one of the most revered presidents in American history. The obverse of the coin remained consistent for decades, Lincoln's somber yet noble profile facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner, who had immigrated from Lithuania and earned a place in numismatic legend thanks to his delicate and enduring engraving. By 1980, the coin had already undergone several transformations. Most notably in 1959 when the wheat ears on the reverse were replaced with the Lincoln Memorial. This change marked the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and the memorial design, created by Frank Gasparo, added another layer of tribute to the 16th president. If you looked closely enough at the reverse of a Lincoln Memorial cent, you could even spot a tiny figure of Lincoln seated inside the monument, a detail that fascinated schoolchildren and collectors alike. The 1980 penny was a product of this legacy, and like its immediate predecessors, it was struck in 2 primary locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Those from the Denver Mint bore a small D mint mark to the right of the date, while coins from Philadelphia remained unmarked. That might sound ordinary, but here's where the story begins to twist. While billions of Lincoln cents were produced that year, over 7.4 billion to be exact, only a tiny fraction contained striking irregularities or rare features that would later catapult them into the realm of ultra-rare collectibles. These small differences, invisible to most people at the time, would turn the humble 1980 penny into a treasure hunt for future generations. Let's take a deeper look at the design itself. On the obverse, Lincoln appears aged but timeless, his expression calm yet resolute. The words, "In God We Trust," arc across the top of the coin, a motto as enduring as the coin itself. To Lincoln's left is the word, "Liberty," and to the right, the year, 1980. If the coin was struck in Denver, a small D sits just below the date, crisp, clean, and often the first clue for collectors searching for something extraordinary. The reverse, as mentioned, showcases the Lincoln Memorial, flanked by United States of America across the top and 1 cent boldly at the bottom. Between these inscriptions lies the ever-important phrase, E pluribus unum, a Latin motto meaning, out of many, one. The detailing on the Lincoln Memorial was intricate for a coin of this size, an architectural tribute carved in metal, but not every coin turned out perfectly. And in the minting world, imperfections are often the most valuable features of all. In 1980, the U.S. Mint was grappling with high demand and limited time. With billions of coins required to meet economic needs, pressure was mounting on the minting presses. In this high-speed environment, even the smallest misalignment, die crack, or doubled die could lead to error coins, coins that, far from being discarded, became the crown jewels of collectors. One such error was the 1980 doubled die obverse DDO cent. This variety shows noticeable doubling on the inscriptions. "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1980. At first glance, it's barely perceptible. But under magnification, the doubling becomes apparent and breathtaking. Each letter appears to echo itself slightly, as though vibrating with hidden energy. Coins like this were produced when the die itself had been improperly engraved or shifted during the striking process. These errors, rare by nature, found their way into circulation like whispers of a secret, waiting to be discovered. Another variety that made waves in the numismatic world was the off-center strike. Due to an improperly positioned planchet, some 1980 pennies were struck off-center, with portions of the design missing. While most people would consider such a coin defective, collectors understood the true value of rarity. A 1980 penny struck 10% or 20% off center, yet with visible date and mint mark, could command hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars depending on condition. Then there were the 1980 pennies struck on the wrong planchets. Imagine discovering a penny that, due to a minting mishap, was actually struck on a dime planchet, resulting in a thinner, silver-colored coin with a completely different weight. These errors are exceedingly rare, often the result of planchet mixing at the mint. When authenticated, they can fetch jaw-dropping figures at auction, but not all valuable 1980 pennies are error coins. Some are valued for their sheer perfection. Mint state examples, graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC, are considered pristine, untouched by circulation. Out of billions, only a microscopic fraction are preserved in such immaculate condition. These top-grade specimens often sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars because they represent the absolute best of an entire minting year. Let's not forget the role of full red coloration. Lincoln cents are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and over time, exposure to air can darken or dull their surfaces. However, coins that maintain their original, red luster, indicative of minimal oxidation and excellent storage, are especially prized. A fully red 1980 cent in gem condition is not only beautiful, it's rare. And in the world of rare coins, beauty and rarity often walk hand in hand. Collectors around the globe continue to search through rolls of pennies, estate sales, and even old piggy banks, hoping to find the elusive 1980 treasure. Stories abound of lucky individuals discovering a rare DDO coin in their grandfather's cigar box, or an off-center strike hidden in a forgotten drawer. Each find adds another chapter to the legend of the 1980 penny, a coin that was once so ordinary, yet now sits atop many collectors' wish lists. Major auction houses have taken notice, too. Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and others have featured high-grade or era 1980 pennies in their sales, sometimes sparking bidding wars among determined numismatists. The market is alive, dynamic, and hungry for excellence. As for the ultimate prize, the most coveted 1980 penny of all, rumors persist of a near-mythical example, a 1980 Lincoln cent, graded MS68RD with double die features and flawless surfaces. This coin, reportedly sold in a private transaction, fetched a staggering $150,000. To some, this may sound unbelievable. But in the elite world of rare coin collecting, where history, beauty, and scarcity intersect, such values are not only possible, they are real. So what makes this specific coin worth such an astronomical sum? It's the perfect storm of factors: an era type in high demand, flawless preservation, strong historical context, and confirmed provenance. This is the kind of coin that transcends its metal. It becomes a conversation piece, a legacy item, a tangible relic of American history and craftsmanship. Think about it, a coin that once rattled in someone's pocket, likely spent on gum or dropped in a vending machine, now commands more than most cars or even some homes. The 1980 penny has gone from overlooked to overachiever, from commonplace to crown jewel. And it's still out there. Perhaps one is hiding in your old coin jar. Maybe one rests quietly at the bottom of a dusty desk drawer. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next collector to make headlines by discovering a once-forgotten cent that's now worth a small fortune. ATHD ultra-rare coins, we celebrate the magic of such stories. Because in every penny lies a possibility, in every coin a piece of time. And in the case of the United States 1 cent 1980, that little copper coin just might be worth $150,000.